everyone, and welcome back to another video. My name is Sean and I'm an instructor at the American Academy. Today I want to bring you a video about some helpful tips for taking the SAT test. Now the SAT test is an aptitude test that will measure how well you're going to do in your first year at college at an American university. Okay, the first thing you need to do to be successful for the SAT is that you just need to come up with your own study plan, whether it be a month before the test, 3 months before the test, or 6 months before the test. And this will really just help you to set goals and to reach those goals to be prepared for this test. Now, once you have a study plan, you're going to be able to identify your weaknesses. Now, you should be identifying your weaknesses so that you'll know what to study. If you're not good at math, if you're not good at even geometry or algebraic equations, you need to practice these because they are going to be a significant part of the test. And if you're not good at maybe reading fast or you're not good at vocabulary, you need to identify which is your weakest point and work toward that. Now, a good way to practice is just to practice vocab lists, and there are a ton online, and we can provide you a bunch of lists here, but you should be practicing vocab almost every single day. Now, it's not enough just to look at the words and to say them out loud. You need to be writing these vocab words down. Once you write something down, it really just helps your brain to make the connections between the word and the definition a little bit easier, and that will just help you learn. Now, if you write it more than one time, then it's going to be easier for your brain to recall, so you're going to actually learn more. So the more times that you are writing down new vocab words and reorganizing your vocab word list, the more you'll be able to learn in a short period of time. Now, this is also true for vocabulary that pertains just to math questions. Okay, so this whole test is going to be in English, and that includes the math questions. So if you do not understand what the math question is asking, it's going to be almost impossible to answer the question. So practicing just strictly math vocab. Now, the next thing you kind of need to do is kind of develop a number sense. Right? What this means is just you need to learn all the rules about math, about how if you put this equation into that equation, what happens. You kind of need to start doing math for fun, which doesn't sound super great, but it will help you immensely on this test. Another thing going along with the math section, you should really be trying to practice without your calculator. Now, there are two math sections on this test. There is a no calculator section and a calculator section. But even on the calculator section, every time you reach for that calculator, every time you're putting in long equations or just easy equations into your calculator, it's a waste of your time. Right? A lot of equations you can just kind of solve in your head and you can just move on. It'll just really help you with the timing of your test. And that's another really big part of this test is your timing. Each different section is timed differently. So each section you have a certain amount of time to answer all of the questions. So if you spend 10 minutes on one math problem, you're really taking away from other math problems that might be easier for you to solve. Now, there's a reading section and a vocabulary section on the SAT, and a way to practice that is just to read English articles. Now, the articles and what you'll be reading on the SAT test come from a variety of different sources. They could be parts of books, or they could be part of maybe a journal, maybe a scientific journal. So really just reading a bunch of different examples of those. And then you should be also trying to read in context. Okay, they're going to have complicated words that you're not going to be familiar with and native English speakers aren't going to be familiar with. But the key is finding the clues to what those mean. So they'll always give you the word and kind of have a little bit of extra information for you. So kind of being able to figure out the word in context rather than just having to know the words will really help you on this test. And now going back to reading things and reading different articles. When you read articles at home, you should try to make up your own questions for the test. You should kind of test yourself on what you just learned. Can you identify the main parts of the entry? Can you identify what the author is really trying to say? And this will just really help you in preparing for the reading section of this test. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. Again, my name is Sean, and I'm with the American Academy. And I hope to see you soon.